Here's my 1928 Excelsior Super X. However, it might be a 1929 model. A couple different frame changes. Sport bars. Later fork. What I don't have is a streamline model, so I went around and dug up some parts in the garage, and I bought a few things. But what I did find is that I had some late cylinders and a late motor, and that's all built and ready to go, and it's a sport model with the bigger carb and the longer intake rockers and offset perches. So the motor's ready to go, and I bought a frame and a few other parts. I've got the late forks and some other accessories. I've got a late horn, and I'm going to use a John Brown late headlight. Here's the bracket for it. There's all the fork parts. I found a set of late handlebars that have been modified. I may turn those into racer handlebars. Then I've got a stock set of bars with the crossbar. However, they have the earlier throttle sleeves, not the late style like this. So I'm going to go ahead and use them because that's what I have now. I'm ready for assembly. Everything's clean. I'm not going to do any painting, not yet. The tank's kind of rough, but I've got all the parts. Here is the pump, the oil pump, which is different than the oil pump for the earlier models. These tanks are about as rough as you get. There's an extra hole for some reason. I could use another cap. I've got a tail light and speedometer. I'm not sure I'm going to put all that on. I've got a dash. I've got a weird shifter that somebody made, which I might try to use because it's funky. But here I have a nice rusty new old stock one, which I could use as well. I had a seat made for my racer, but I only used it for a season or two. That's going to go on. Just using what I have. I got some 19-inch wheels and some brand new old stock motorcycle Firestone tires. I'm sorry, these are Goodyears. Diamond tread Goodyears. I've got lots of, here's my bearings, lots of new old stock wheel parts. Somebody put a sleeve on the quill, the small quill, to make it the large quill so they could use the later bearings. Here they put a sleeve on the bearing. But luckily I have some new old stock quills which I can use, and the small bearings. I'll replace the Timkins. I've got sprockets and parts ready to go. I found a nice drum, luckily, in my stuff. A couple of nice 19-inch wheels I'm going to use. It should have 18s, but I'm going to use 19s because I have them. There's some brake parts. I got some parts here because these are rusty. I'll swap those out. New old stock axles. Rear stand, kind of beat up. I've got to make some footboards, but I've got the brackets and new rubber. So here we go. Here's all my fork rocker nuts. I just put new bushings in the fork rockers. And these are new old stock axle pins. Had those for a while. So it won't have a front fender. I'm trying to get a rear. I may use an earlier rear. And now the fun will begin. I probably won't use the dash, the horn, the headlight. And I'm going to race this summer at Wauseon with the new motor. All right, we'll see what happens. This is when the fun begins.